Want to learn tons of fun facts? Subscribe to Zarpado, we're already starting. It looks like something out of a Star Wars movie, but it's a real beetle. The Philophaga vetula has a head shaped like an imperial helmet, an armored body, and terrifying jaws. It lives in parts of Central and South America, and although its appearance is intimidating, it's completely harmless. But that doesn't stop it from being a visual nightmare for entomophobes. In a derby between Claypole and Victoriano arenas, referee Damian Rubino handed out 36 cards in total, including 11 red cards to one team. Yes, he literally left the entire squad off the field. The widespread brawl included substitutes, coaching staff, and even equipment managers. It was so chaotic that the police had to intervene, and the referee ended up calling more infractions than there were passes in the match. Although he was a vegetarian, Leo wanted his performance to be 100% realistic. So for one of the most intense scenes in The Revenant, he decided to eat a real raw bison liver without special effects. The scene is so brutal that he vomits on camera, and that wasn't in the script. But Alejandro Iñárritu decided to keep it for rawness. The shark-shaped underwater jet ski is a revolutionary aquatic machine created to provide unparalleled adventure. Its aerodynamic design emulates the silhouette of a shark, combining the speed and maneuverability of a jet ski with the ability to dive like a small submarine. This combination allows users to move both on the surface and underwater, exploring the marine environment from different perspectives. Simon Beck, originally from the United Kingdom, creates gigantic designs in the snow using only his feet in special snowshoes. For hours, he meticulously walks to form geometric and fractal figures of incredible precision that can only be appreciated from the air. In the northeast corner of China lies an astonishing spot, the Scarlet Beach of Panjin. This surreal landscape is part of the wetlands of the Io Bay Ecological Reserve, and its striking appearance is due to a unique plant known as Sueda salsa. This vegetation, adapted to saline and muddy soils, turns the terrain a deep red, bursting into full bloom when autumn arrives. On January 18, 2024, a certified drone captured from the sky how an aerial saw pilot trimmed trees near power lines. With surgical precision, the aircraft glides through the foliage, cutting branches that threaten safety. Rocco Mercurio's name stands out in the Guinness Book of Records for his incredible skill in balancing poker chips. On May 15, 2023, in the Italian town of Via San Giovanni, he achieved an astonishing feat. He held 255 chips on a single finger, thus setting a new world record. This extraordinary talent is no coincidence, as Rocco has earned recognition for his ability to maintain balance in various events. They call him the Iceman, and it's not for marketing purposes. Wim Hof has climbed Mount Everest in shorts, run a marathon barefoot in the Arctic, and immersed himself in ice for more than 2 hours without freezing. His secret lies in a combination of controlled breathing, meditation, and exposure to extreme cold. But even scientists are baffled. His immune system responds differently, and he can control his body temperature as if he had a thermostat. Japanese Kirato Itaka broke an impressive Guinness World Record by completing 8 rope twists during a single jump. This feat, achieved on July 17, 2023, in Yamaguchi City, required exceptional coordination and speed. The achievement positions him as a world leader in high-speed rope jumping. His skill amazed judges and spectators alike. An unusual competition is held annually in Italy, in which teams build cardboard boats to compete in an aquatic race. The main goal is to sail the longest possible distance without the boat sinking during the journey. In addition to speed and endurance, creativity is recognized, with awards given to the most innovative and striking design. McLaren made history at the 2023 Qatar Grand Prix by completing the fastest stop ever recorded in Formula One, just 1.8 seconds. At that moment, 20 mechanics worked like clockwork to change the tires on Lando Norris's car after his second stint at the Losail circuit. Imagine being allergic to water, even your own tears. That's the reality for Tessa Hansen-Smith, who lives with aquagenic urticaria, a rare condition that causes her skin to break out in painful rashes upon contact with water. Showering is such a challenge that she only does it twice a month, as the simple act of getting wet causes fever, migraines, and even lesions on her tongue if she drinks water. He can't cry, and sweating is a real ordeal. Meet Brian Berg, the ace of cards, recognized as the world's greatest card stacker. This incredible talent has built stunning mansions and other large-scale structures using only playing cards, taking his art to levels never before imagined. He has worked with giants like Disney World, Lexus, and various sports leagues, leaving his mark on iconic projects. In 1992, at age 17, Berg broke the world record by building the world's tallest house of cards, reaching a height of 14.4 feet. Hiroshi Ishiguro, a Japanese innovator, has created robots with artificial intelligence and a human appearance so realistic, they seem like something out of a science fiction film. His attention to detail is breathtaking, from facial expressions to the smallest gestures, making his machines almost indistinguishable from real people. His most fascinating robot, the Geminoid HI-1, is an exact replica of himself, taking the concept of robotics to a whole new level. Antonio Romero Montero is world-renowned for having the largest video game collection on the planet, an achievement certified by Guinness World Records. His impressive repertoire exceeds 24,000 titles, spanning a huge diversity of consoles and generations. This passion began when he was just 10 years old in 1987, and since then, he has been diligently and painstakingly accumulating each piece to form a one-of-a-kind archive. Afshin Esmail Ghaderzadeh is a young Iranian man with a height of just 25.7 inches. He was recognized as the world's shortest living man by Guinness World Records. In addition to his size, he has the smallest hands officially recorded. His condition is extremely rare and unique. Despite his height, his story has been shared around the world. If Dr. Seuss had designed an ecosystem, it would be Socotra. This remote island in the Indian Ocean has more than 700 unique species, including the famous dragon's blood tree, which looks like a giant upside-down umbrella. The plants, rocks, and formations look like they're from another planet, which is why Socotra has been described as the most alien place on Earth. Imagine a forest, but made entirely of sharp stone. This is Tsingy de Bimaraha, a mountain range of limestone peaks so sharp they slice through hikers' shoes if they step wrong. Despite its brutal geography, the place is full of unique species, and the rays of light that enter between the cracks create a hypnotic and surreal landscape. In the middle of the Tian Shan Mountains, an earthquake formed a natural dam that flooded an entire forest. Today, Kaindi Lake is a visual spectacle. Fir tree trunks sprout from the turquoise water, like frozen specters from another world. Incredibly underwater, the branches are perfectly preserved, giving the impression of an untouched underwater forest. They call it the gateway to hell, and when you see it, you understand why. In the middle of the Karakum Desert, there's a 69-meter diameter crater that has been burning non-stop since 1971. It was lit by Soviet scientists to prevent the release of methane gas, and it simply never went out. Today it burns with hypnotic orange flames, like an underworld furnace that lights up the night. In 2014, Ghanaian player Mohamed Anas blew a snot during a post-match interview. He said, "I want to thank my girlfriend and also my wife for always supporting me." And so, in less than 5 seconds, the guy invented the emotional own goal. Now they look for it more in the VAR of love than in football. A star on the field, but a substitute in excuses. Also known as the Beach of Love, this site is inside an underwater crater, hidden in one of the Marianas Islands. It can only be accessed by swimming through an underwater tunnel, and when you exit, you find a white sand beach completely surrounded by rocky walls with a hole open to the sky. It was formed by military explosions decades ago, but is now one of the most magical and protected landscapes in the Pacific. In a remote temple in Thailand, there is a rock known as Hin Sam Wan, or whale rock, which appears to float in the void. The structure weighs thousands of tons and is supported only by a tiny point. Engineers claim that, according to the laws of weight and balance, this rock should have fallen centuries ago. Inside a small waterfall in New York, there is a flame that never goes out. Yes, in the middle of the water, an invisible force keeps a flame alive. It was thought to be a simple natural gas leak until geologists determined that the rock in that area doesn't produce enough gas to keep a flame burning. Javier is a Spanish actor, but also one of the most flexible bodies in the world. He has Marfan syndrome, a genetic condition that lengthens his limbs, makes his joints flexible, and allows him to move like an impossible creature. Thanks to this, he has played monsters in films like Rec, It, and La Llorona, without the need for digital effects. Conchetta has tetrachromatism, a genetic condition that gives her a fourth visual cone, meaning she can distinguish between up to 99 million colors, while the average human only distinguishes 1 million. She sees shades of color where others only see gray or white. And she's also a professional painter, which makes her a kind of living HD camera. This Japanese man is a modern master of the art of the katana. But not just any master. He slices real bullets through the air. Yes, with a sword. And at speeds impossible for the human eye. He has reflexes as sharp as his katana and has been studied by scientific programs that confirm his perception of time is faster than average. This American ultramarathoner has something scientists have yet to fully understand. He can run hundreds of kilometers without showing normal signs of muscle fatigue. In 2005, he ran 560 kilometers in just 80 hours without stopping for sleep. And his body appears to have a genetic mutation that eliminates lactic acid more quickly, the acid that normally burns your muscles when you overdo it. Neil was born with a chromatopsia, a condition that prevents him from seeing colors, but he created a device called an eyeborg implanted in his skull that converts colors into auditory frequencies. Now he literally hears the color of the world. But that's not all. Since hearing perceives beyond the human visual spectrum, he can hear colors like ultraviolet and infrared. Kim Peek was the inspiration behind the movie Rain Man, but his ability was even more impressive than fiction. He could read 2 pages at a time, one with each eye, and memorize 98% of what he read. He remembered in detail more than 12,000 books, entire calendars spanning centuries, maps, sheet music, historical data, all without taking notes. After a fever in 1973, this Vietnamese farmer completely lost his ability to sleep. Incredibly, according to local medical reports, he hasn't slept a single second in over 50 years, and he's still perfectly healthy. Scientists attempted to analyze it, but found no cognitive impairment, memory loss, or chronic fatigue. Do you know the Belgian blue cow? This breed of cattle is famous for its impressive musculature, which gives it a unique and robust appearance. Its extreme muscular development is due to a genetic mutation that inhibits the production of myostatin, the protein responsible for regulating muscle growth. As a result, these animals naturally develop large, well-defined muscles. Male giraffes exhibit a peculiar behavior during their courtship ritual, in which they repeatedly butt their heads against the female's rear end until she urinates. The male then tests her urine to detect signs of ovulation and determine the best time for reproduction. This ritual is essential for mate selection, as it allows them to assess the female's fertility. The fainting goat, the animal that freezes with fear, literally. There is a breed of goats so rare that when frightened, they faint and fall to the ground, stiff as statues. The reason? a genetic condition called myotonia congenita, which causes their muscles to suddenly contract in fear. It doesn't cause pain, but the effect is so ridiculous that they resemble soap opera actresses exaggerating a tragic death. No, it's not CGI. This deep-sea fish has a completely transparent top of its head, and inside it, two green, tube-shaped eyes that rotate inside its skull. It can look up, forward, and back from inside its head. Its eyes are protected by their gelatinous dome, allowing it to survive the pressure of the depths. Did you know that the actor who has earned the most money from a single film is Tom Cruise? This happened thanks to Top Gun: Maverick, released in 2022. In addition to being the highest-grossing film of his career, Tom received a $14 million advance and a share of the film's profits. It's estimated to have earned over $100 million of the total gross, which reached $1,493 billion worldwide. A well-known YouTuber from the Action Lab channel covered his car with Vanta Black, a fabric that absorbs almost all visible light, capturing up to 99%. At night, the car becomes almost invisible to the naked eye, due to its ability to dissipate all light falling on. Vanta Black challenges traditional notions of color, as it appears to create a visual void, making the coated surfaces appear to disappear. It doesn't need arrows or guns. The archer fish has a sniper-like technique. It shoots jets of water from its mouth to knock down insects from branches over 6.5 feet away. This fish, which lives in the mangroves of Southeast Asia, calculates the angle, the refraction of light in the water, and the distance to its target, and then spits with such force that it knocks its prey out of the air. It's not invisible, but almost. The glass squid lives in deep waters, and its body is so transparent it looks like it's made of alien jelly. Only its digestive system and its enormous, bulging eyes are visible, as if floating in nothingness. This species uses its invisibility to avoid predators. It lives in the mesopelagic zone of the ocean, where light barely reaches. In that environment, being almost invisible is a great advantage. In an amateur tournament in Colombia, the referee had to suspend a match because a goat invaded the field and refused to leave. Attempts to remove it lasted more than 30 minutes. The desperate players even tried offering it fruit. The best part is that the goat wandered around the penalty area as if it were the starting goalkeeper. The referee wrote in his report, "The match could not be continued due to the presence of stubborn wildlife." Finding Nemo came out in 2003, but in 2001's Monsters, Inc., there's a scene where Boo shows Sully a drawing of an orange and white fish that looks identical to Nemo. How can that be possible? Because Pixar already had the movie in production and decided to include an ultra-anticipated Easter egg. The craziest thing is that this scene turned Boo into the time-traveling girl in Pixar theory. Because yes, she also appears in other films. The film that redefined animated cinema. Shrek was rejected by almost every major studio. No one wanted to make a movie with an ugly ogre, dirty jokes, and pop songs. Even Disney rejected it because they considered it too grotesque and vulgar. It was DreamWorks that took a chance on it. And it wasn't just a hit. It won the first ever Oscar for Best Animated Feature, defeating Monsters, Inc. In the mountainous region of Abkhazia, Georgia, lies the impressive Veryovkina Cave, the deepest known on the planet. This subterranean wonder descends to 7,257 feet, delving into the bowels of the earth like no other place in the world. Exploring its dark passages represents an extreme challenge for speleologists and adventurers. The airport located on the island of St. Barthélemy stands out for having one of the most challenging landing zones on the planet. With just 2,133 feet of inclined runway that ends right at the edge of St. John Beach, this place demands pinpoint precision from the pilots. The planes must perform controlled acrobatics, descending at low altitude over houses and busy roads before touching down. Geese, like many winged species, lack teeth entirely. Instead, they have an adapted beak that makes it easier for them to capture and tear their food without chewing. This natural tool is designed to perform specific functions, such as cutting grass or filtering water. Although they don't bite like mammals, their beaks can be surprisingly effective and even intimidating. In Colombia, there is a river known as Caño Cristales that seems straight out of a fairy tale due to its spectacular display of colors. This body of water stands out for exhibiting up to 5 different shades, earning it the nickname Liquid Rainbow. The chromatic variety is due to the presence of unique algae and aquatic plants that thrive in its riverbed, which change color depending on the time of year and environmental conditions. In 2004, Maura Murray, a college student, was involved in a minor car accident in New Hampshire. She refused help from a witness, and when police arrived minutes later, she was gone. There were no footprints, no tracks, no signs of a struggle. To this day, it's unknown whether she fled, was kidnapped, or murdered. Her case is one of the most debated on true crime forums. In 1893, Jack Burke and Andy Bowen fought the longest fight in boxing history. It lasted 110 rounds. Yes, you read that right. And 7 hours and 19 minutes without a break. There was no round limit. The fight would only end when someone was knocked out. The end, a draw. Both were still standing, wobbly, but alive. Burke fractured both arms. Bowen couldn't speak or walk properly for days. But they refused to give up. Hisao Mitani, a unique Japanese man, has become famous for walking the streets of Tokyo, accompanied by his African tortoise named Bonchan. This tortoise, now over 26 years old, impresses with its size and weight, reaching 154 pounds. The unusual pair often attracts the attention of passers-by and tourists. Mitani has turned this walk into a routine that reflects the special relationship between human and animal. The tallest sculpture on the planet is the Statue of Unity, located in India. Inaugurated in 2018, its total height reaches 597 feet, including the base on which it stands. This imposing work honors Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, a pivotal figure in the country's post-independence history. Its design and dimensions make it a national symbol of unity and strength. The Oxybelus fulgidus is recognized as the world's most slender snake, notable for its extremely thin and elegant body. Native to Central and Northern South America, it has gained some interest even in India. This species barely reaches a thickness of 0.8 inches, although it can grow up to 4.9 feet in length. Its fragile appearance contrasts with its agility and ability to move through vegetation. Emma Gibson was born in 2017, but her story began long before that. Her embryo was frozen for an incredible 25 years, starting in 1992. Using in vitro fertilization, doctors extracted and fertilized the egg, froze it in a protective solution, and decades later, implanted it in her mother, Tina. The result was a healthy baby girl, weighing 6 pounds and standing 20 inches tall, who technically could have been born in the 1990s. Shaped like a massive 30-foot-high whisk, this fountain has an impressive capacity of 2,641 gallons of chocolate. The mixture flows at a speed of 2.2 pounds per second, making it a true marvel that attracts all eyes. Hyams Beach, located in the picturesque Jervis Bay, Australia, is famous for having the whitest sand on the planet, an official recognition endorsed by the Guinness World Record. The impressive whiteness of its beach is no coincidence, but the result of its sand is composed mostly of tiny grains of pure quartz, which reflect sunlight with exceptional brilliance. In the Paraná Delta, located in Argentina, lies an enigmatic natural formation that has captured the attention of many, an island known as the Eye. What makes it truly unique is its almost impeccably round outline, which distinguishes it from other irregularly shaped islands. Even more surprising is the way it seems to move slowly through the water as if floating and sailing on its own. Have you ever imagined seeing a mountain range that looks like it's painted with watercolors? It exists in China, the Danxia Formations, where minerals and erosion have created layers of red, yellow, blue, and orange that cover the mountains like a psychedelic pastel. It looks like a poorly calibrated render from a video game, but it's 100% real, unfiltered. Climbing Danxia Mountain is like scaling a stairway to heaven. Its steps, carved into the nearly vertical rock, defy both vertigo and gravity. This impressive geological formation in China is not only a physical challenge, but a unique visual spectacle. Every step offers breathtaking views, and not just because of the effort. In 2020, the Greek government declared Tom Hanks an honorary citizen. But that's not the craziest part. He was also listed as a protected cultural resource, almost like a living heritage site. The reason? Hanks helped fund and promote humanitarian efforts following devastating fires in Greece. And he loves the country so much that he has homes on several islands. When he was offered the role of Hannibal Lecter, Hopkins received a script over 130 pages long. He read it once, and the next day he knew it word for word. Not only that, he corrected other actors during rehearsals because he also remembered their lines. Director Jonathan Demme was so impressed that he said, "I've never worked with someone who can learn a script like it's a poem." During the filming of Fury, Shia LaBeouf was so committed to his character that he extracted a tooth with pliers without anesthesia, because the script called for the soldier to have a broken tooth. As if that weren't enough, he also made real cuts on his face because he didn't trust the makeup. The production ended up separating him from the rest of the cast because they couldn't tell if he was acting or losing his mind. In Armor of God, Jackie Chan did a scene where he jumped from a tree to a wall, but he landed badly and fractured his skull. Part of his bone lodged in his brain, and he had to undergo emergency surgery. The most incredible thing is that he returned to the set weeks later and completed the scene. Today, he still has a metal plate in his skull, yet he insists on doing all his scenes without stunt doubles. It's called Port Lockroy Base, and it's a former British station converted into a museum and post office. Yes, you read that right. A post office in the middle of the ice. Every year, thousands of tourists send postcards with unique Antarctic stamps. But the craziest thing, the penguins who live there have priority over humans. If one blocks the entrance, you have to wait. In 1911, explorer Robert Falcon Scott left a hut stocked with all kinds of provisions before setting out for the South Pole. He died in the attempt, but the hut remained, and to this day, the food is still there, frozen and in perfect condition. There are tins of biscuits, corned beef, chocolate, and even toothpaste, all preserved by the extreme cold. Mount Erebus is one of the southernmost volcanoes in the world, and it's active. But the most incredible thing is that there is evidence of dozens more volcanoes beneath the Antarctic ice. The geothermal heat from these subglacial volcanoes could be melting the base of the ice sheets from below, something that worries scientists because it could accelerate glacial collapse and change sea levels across the planet. No snakes, lizards, or crocodiles inhabit Antarctica. Zero reptiles. And it's not just because of the cold. Even fossils indicate that these animals never managed to establish themselves there, not even during warmer periods in the geological past. This makes it the only continent on the planet completely free of reptiles. In Lake Mercer, a subglacial lake drilled in 2019, water was extracted containing live bacteria that had been frozen for more than 10,000 years. The shocking thing is that they were revived and reproduced in the laboratory, demonstrating that life can go into total hibernation for millennia and then return as if nothing had happened. This discovery has direct implications for the search for life on Mars or Europa. It's called Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, and it's one of the most disturbing organisms in existence. This fungus infects an ant, travels to its brain, and takes complete control of its body, It forces it to climb onto a leaf, bite it, and stay there until it dies. Then the fungus sprouts from its skull and spreads its spores to new victims. Let me introduce you to the fascinating basket star, a marine creature closely related to traditional starfish. It inhabits the warm, shallow waters of the tropical western Atlantic, extending into the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico. Its shape and movements are reminiscent of its star-like relatives, but it possesses unique characteristics that make it stand out in its ecosystem. The Australian beachworm is a creature that lives hidden beneath the sand on Australian coasts. Its long, agile body can stretch over a meter, allowing it to move with great flexibility between the grains of sand. This subterranean inhabitant is a key player in the coastal ecosystem, although it spends much of its life out of sight. The island located in Aoshima, known as Cat Island, is a place where felines dominate the landscape, far outnumbering the few humans who reside there. Originally, the cats were introduced to combat a mouse infestation, but they ended up settling there permanently. Currently, the cat population exceeds 100, while the human inhabitants barely number a few dozen. In a remote region of southeastern Turkey, a unique botanical phenomenon flourishes: the enigmatic black halfeti roses. These flowers, with an almost impossible dark hue, owe their color to the specific soil conditions and irrigation with water from the Euphrates River. Their cultivation is only viable in this unique environment, making them an exclusive floral treasure. In Croatia, there's a rather peculiar museum called Froggyland, which houses an impressive collection of more than 500 stuffed frogs. What makes this place unique is that each of these frogs has been carefully positioned to mimic human postures and actions, such as playing tennis or performing as acrobats in a circus. Bernout Smeelde, originally from the Netherlands, has earned the nickname Cloud Master thanks to his innovative artistic approach. His work involves manipulating elements such as smoke, steam, and tiny water droplets to create nebulous formations inside closed rooms. These creations are temporary, disappearing quickly, but he manages to preserve their momentary beauty through photography. Actor Nicolas Cage has a rather unusual tomb, a white pyramid located in St. Louis Cemetery in New Orleans. This nearly 3-meter-high structure, built in 2010, is engraved with the enigmatic Latin phrase omnia ab uno, which translates as all of one. Although Cage has never publicly explained the meaning of his decision, the tomb has become a tourist attraction. In the vast Namib Desert, there are the mysterious fairy circles, perfectly round areas where vegetation disappears completely, leaving a bare, arid surface. Around these spaces, a defined ring of grasses forms, much taller and more lush than the rest of the terrain, creating a fascinating visual contrast. Under Mont Blanc, there is a cave carved each year within a glacier, the Grotte de Glace. It is a tunnel of translucent blue ice that changes shape every winter, with sculptures, illuminated walls, and passageways that seem made of crystal. Walking through it is like entering a polar castle sculpted by time. And because the glacier moves, the cave is never the same from one year to the next. Imagine a mountain made of cotton, but solid and sculpted by water. Pamukkale means cotton castle in Turkish, and it consists of white limestone formations through which crystalline hot springs flow. The dissolved minerals form natural terrace pools, as if someone had placed glittering trays on a snowy hill. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers died in the Ural Mountains in such strange ways that the case became one of Russia's greatest mysteries. Known as the Dyatlov Pass incident, tents ripped open from the inside, bodies half naked despite the cold, one with their tongue torn out, another with their skull smashed in, but no outward signs of violence. Years later, theories were proposed: avalanche, infrasound-induced paranoia, even secret experiments, but none of them are entirely convincing. The hagfish is a unique creature in the animal kingdom, as it has a skull but lacks a backbone. Its internal structure is made of cartilage rather than rigid bones, giving it the flexibility to adapt to the conditions of its marine habitat. Despite being a vertebrate, its anatomy distinguishes it from others, as it lacks the typical backbone. As a defense against predators, the hagfish can secrete large amounts of mucus, creating a slimy substance that can suffocate its attackers. The sea otter holds the title of the hairiest animal in the world, with an impressive range of between 100,000 and 160,000 hairs per square centimeter. This dense fur allows it to survive in cold, icy waters, effectively protecting it from the cold. Unlike other marine mammals, which have a thick layer of blubber for insulation, the sea otter relies entirely on its fur to stay warm. Did you know that in China there is a traditional dish called suodiu, which uses grilled stones? These stones are seasoned with oil and spices for flavor, but they are not eaten. Instead, they are sucked to enjoy the blend of flavors before being discarded. This unusual dish is considered a unique sensory experience, ideal for those looking for something different. Mark Sinclair Vincent, known as Vin Diesel, is the actor's real name. From a young age, he was nicknamed Diesel due to his energy and strength, while Vin comes from his stepfather. Did you know that the Extinct Media Museum, opening in January 2023, houses an impressive collection of vintage cameras, camcorders, and cell phones? This museum features approximately 3,000 items and stands out for offering a unique sensory experience. Visitors can interact with the exhibits, such as a 1916 Japanese Lily camera, the oldest in the collection. Under the Mendenhall Glacier lies a system of fluorescent blue ice tunnels, so crystalline they appear to be made of solid light. These caves constantly change shape due to the melting and movement of the ice. Walking there is like stepping into a living sapphire, but it also carries risks. They can collapse without warning. Imagine a desert, but as white as chalk. Egypt's White Desert is an area where the wind has sculpted the limestone into impossible shapes. Giant mushrooms, animals, and natural statues that look handmade. During the day, it resembles a snowy planet. At night, under the moonlight, it turns silvery blue, like a science fiction setting. Shumuk is a perfume that redefines luxury, priced at $1.3 million. This fragrant elixir isn't meant for just anyone. It's a true symbol of opulence. Its bottle, a spectacle in itself, is adorned with diamonds and 18-karat gold, turning it into a packaged work of art. Elisa Lam was seen on a security video inside the Cecil Hotel elevator, acting erratically, as if talking to someone who wasn't there. Then she disappeared. Her body was found days later in a padlocked, hard-to-reach rooftop water tank. There were no signs of violence. No one saw anything. The video was not altered. And to this day, it's unknown how she got there or what happened in that elevator. After losing his sight to cancer at age 3, Ben Underwood developed the human ability to echolocate. Like bats, he clicked his tongue and listened to the echo to detect objects, distances, and shapes. He rode a bike, played basketball, even read embossed text, without a cane, without a guide dog, just with his ears. He literally saw with sound, an ability that even science hasn't fully understood. She suffers from or possesses a condition called hyperthymesia, which means she remembers every single day of her life in surgical detail. If you ask her what she did on a Wednesday in 1997, she'll tell you what she wore, the weather, what she ate, and even what she thought. Imagine remembering absolutely everything, even the things you want to forget. This fish has electrical organs that generate up to 220 volts. It uses these discharges to stun its prey, defend itself, and navigate in murky waters. But the craziest thing is that it can control this discharge with surgical precision. It's like carrying a biological stun gun, complete with an on-off button. Yes, that's right. This Central American lizard runs so fast, up to 7.5 miles per hour, that its feet don't immediately sink, allowing it to walk over rivers and puddles for several feet. The trick? It has special scales on its feet and uses its tail to maintain balance like a ninja tightrope walker. Did you know that celery is considered a negative calorie food? With only 7 calories per 3.5 ounces, this vegetable is extremely low in calories. Surprisingly, the body burns about 14 calories just to digest it, meaning that almost 90% of the energy it provides is simply lost in the digestion process. The three-toed sloth takes the art of calm to another level. This curious mammal can sleep up to 22 hours a day, making it one of the rest champions of the animal kingdom. Its pace is so slow that it only descends from the trees once a week, exclusively to relieve itself. Its slowness, however, is not a defect, but rather an evolutionary strategy. Moving slowly helps it go unnoticed by predators. In the middle of the arid desert of northwest China, a gem hides that seems straight out of a fairy tale, the Dunhuang Oasis. There, the dunes sing in the wind, and a mysterious crescent-shaped lake shimmers among the sands. Once upon a time, Dunhuang was China's only gateway to the world, playing a key role on the Silk Road. Today, it's the region's largest tourist center, attracting adventurers and the curious alike. This West African lake, called Lake Retba, has a bright bubblegum pink hue, more intense than Lake Hillier in Australia. Its color is due to a bacteria that produces red pigments in extremely saline waters, especially when the sun is shining. But the incredible thing is that people work there, extracting salt while floating in this pink liquid, as if it were an alien jacuzzi. At the top of Kelimutu volcano, there are 3 lakes that periodically change color from emerald green to black, red, or turquoise. The craziest thing, each lake has a different color, and none of them are connected to each other, even though they're only meters apart. Scientists still don't fully understand the mechanism, but it's believed to be due to differences in chemical composition and underground volcanic activity. The hairy frog, the one that breaks its bones to grow claws. This African frog has a defense method so savage it seems like something out of a horror movie. It breaks its own bones to push sharp parts of them through its skin, forming temporary bony claws. Once the danger passes, the bones rearrange themselves. The bush viper, the snake that looks like a dragon and camouflages itself as a leaf. This African snake has sharp scales that stick out like feathers, giving it a totally unreal appearance, like something out of Game of Thrones. But the craziest thing is that it can take on the texture of dry branches or live moss, thanks to its irregular scales, camouflaging itself to almost invisible levels. Did you know that the bee hummingbird, native to Cuba, is the smallest bird in the world? It measures only 2.2 inches long and weighs less than a dime. Despite its tiny size, this incredible hummingbird consumes nectar from more than 1,500 flowers a day. Its wings beat up to 80 times per second, producing a distinctive humming sound. In Japan, the tea ceremony, called chanoyu or chado, is a deeply cultural tradition. This practice involves the preparation and serving of matcha tea, a type of powdered green tea. The tea is prepared by mixing the powder with hot water and whisking it in a special bowl called a chawan. Attention to detail and precision are key in this ritual, which focuses on harmony and respect throughout the process. Florida is the state with the highest number of tornadoes per square mile in the United States due to its warm and humid climate. Although these tornadoes are typically small and short-lived, they can cause significant damage. Their frequency is due to the weather conditions conducive to their formation in the region. Did you know that Burger King is called Hungry Jack's in Australia? When the chain wanted to expand there, the name was already registered by another company. Therefore, franchisor Jack Cowan chose Hungry Jack's, and it remains that way to this day. Despite the name change, the products are the same, including the Whopper, with some adaptations to suit Australian tastes. The black mamba is the fastest snake in the world, reaching up to 12.5 miles per hour. Its venom contains fast-acting neurotoxins that paralyze the nervous system. With each bite, it releases enough venom to kill 10 people. It also attacks multiple times in a row to ensure its lethality. It is one of the most dangerous and feared snakes in Africa. Irv Gordon's Volvo P1800 achieved an impressive Guinness World Record. The New Yorker traveled more than 3 million miles in his car. Its durability made it an icon of the automotive world. Gordon meticulously cared for it for decades. It is the vehicle with the most miles logged by a single owner. In the calm waters of Southeast Asia's rivers and lakes lies a unique hunter, the snakehead fish. This voracious predator possesses a unique characteristic that defies commonality in the aquatic kingdom. It is able to breathe air. Thanks to a special organ adapted to absorb oxygen out of water, this fish can survive up to 4 days outside its natural habitat. In 1954, Santiago Airlines Flight 513 departed Germany bound for Brazil and disappeared without explanation. Decades later, in 1992, a story as disturbing as it was fascinating emerged. The same plane reportedly reappeared in Brazilian territory, landing with no visible crew. The most disturbing part of the story is that, according to reports, the skeletons of all the passengers and crew were found inside, sitting in their seats as if nothing had happened. 14 years before the sinking of the Titanic, author Morgan Robertson published the novel Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan. The story described a giant ocean liner, considered unsinkable, called the Titan, which collided with an iceberg in the North Atlantic and sank, killing thousands due to a lack of lifeboats. This animal isn't a real vampire, but its name isn't accidental. It lives in the darkest depths of the ocean, where the pressure is brutal and light simply doesn't reach. Its skin is black and red, and it has a membrane between its tentacles that, when unfurled, resembles a vampire's cloak. Did you know that there are airlines dedicated exclusively to animals? These airlines, known as pet airlines, are designed to provide comfort and safety to pets during their travels. One of the best known is Pet Airways, founded in Delray Beach, Florida. They offer climate-controlled cabins and pet-friendly spaces, making their travels more peaceful and comfortable. In the Cappadocia region of Turkey lies Derinkuyu, an astonishing underground city that extends up to 279 feet into the ground. Over 2,500 years old, this impressive structure was used as a refuge by thousands of people during invasions. Its ingenious design and ability to withstand attack make it a true gem of ancient engineering, which continues to amaze those who discover it today. On the banks of the Hudson River, one of the founders of the United States, Alexander Hamilton, was shot by Aaron Burr. Although Burr was exonerated, his political career was shattered. This tragic duel reflects the consequences of a rivalry taken to the extreme, marking a dark episode in American history. An accidental explosion in an underground coal mine in 1962 ignited a fire that was never extinguished. Since then, Centralia has been burning underground for more than 60 years. The ground is fuming, cracking, and in places the asphalt is melting. Most people were evacuated, but a few refused to leave. Today it's practically a ghost town, with the inferno raging right below. It has no wings, no engine, no aerodynamic scales, but it flies. The Southeast Asian flying snake can glide from tree to tree thanks to a surprising trick. It flattens its body into a living wing and leaps. It doesn't just fall, it dives, spins, glides, and travels up to 33 feet away. It uses its body as a natural hang glider, controlling its flight with undulating movements. This bird looks like a time warp, with claws on its wings as a baby, a head like a punk reptile, and a digestive system that ferments leaves like a cow. The Hoatzin is a living fossil. It lives in the Amazon, and its scientific name already sounds exotic. Its appearance is so strange that for decades, scientists didn't even know how to classify it. And its smell doesn't help either. It's so bad inside that many call it the stinky bird. This freshwater slug has a transportation system as peculiar as stinky. Instead of swimming like a normal fish, it fills up with gases and releases them to propel itself like a silent rocket. Yes, it literally farts to float and move. These gases are produced when it digests seaweed, and it retains them in its stomach until it needs a boost. Zero glamour, but maximum efficiency. The Vatican houses the smallest and most unique financial institution on the planet. Officially known as the Institute for Religious Works, this unique bank is also known as the Vatican Bank. Unlike large international banks, its operations are strictly linked to the economic and administrative activities of the Holy See. In 1986, the explosion of Reactor 4 turned Pripyat into a nuclear hellhole. Thousands were evacuated, but decades later, some people known as the self-resettlers decided to return. They live among abandoned structures, radioactive fields, and mutant animals. Although many say that nature is recovering, radiation levels are still dangerous. During World War II, Hollywood actress Hedy Lamarr, yes actress, worked with composer George Antheil to design a system to prevent the Nazis from intercepting torpedoes. They used the idea of randomly hopping frequencies, something no one understood in the 1940s. Decades later, that same technology served as the basis for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS. In 1964, Douglas Engelbart introduced the first mouse, a square wooden box with two internal wheels. It didn't have modern buttons. It wasn't called a mouse yet, and its cursor wasn't even a visible arrow. It was so unintuitive that no one understood what it was for until 20 years later, when Apple redesigned it and made it mainstream. Did you know that the term checkmate in chess comes from a 14th century Arabic phrase, Shah matat, which means the king is defenseless? This expression reflects the situation in which the king no longer has any moves available to escape. Chess, which has its origins in India, came to Europe via the Arab world, leaving a profound influence on both the language and the rules of the game. Male lions that have been castrated fail to develop manes due to the lack of testosterone, the essential hormone responsible for the growth of this distinctive characteristic. This phenomenon is commonly observed in zoos or reserves, where some specimens are castrated for medical or animal husbandry reasons. Novi Ockerville is a gigantic housing complex located in Kudrovo, near St. Petersburg, Russia, which opened in 2015. This enormous building can house between 18,000 and 20,000 people, spread across 3,708 apartments, spread over 25 floors and 35 different entrances. Tiger stripes function as a kind of personal signature, as each tiger has a unique design that is not repeated on another. The most surprising thing is that these marks are not only on the tiger's fur, but also on its skin, so they would remain visible even if the animal lost its fur. Even Sutherland, a digital artist and pioneer in computer graphics, built a helmet that projected three-dimensional images directly into the eyes. It was called the Sword of Damocles because it hung from the ceiling and resembled a medieval torture device. Its goal? To visualize spaces that didn't exist. Before Google, there was Archie, created in 1990 by Alan M. Tage, a university student in Canada. His problem, he couldn't easily find papers online. His solution? Write a program that would search for files on all servers connected to the network. Thus, the first search engine was born. No images, no pretty results, just text. But it was the beginning of the global information tsunami. At certain innovative restaurants, such as the roller coaster restaurant, the experience goes far beyond the food. Here, waiters have been replaced by an automated system that simulates a roller coaster. Customers place their orders using a tablet, then watch their dishes travel along a network of rails with spectacular curves, dips, and turns before arriving at the table. Francisco de Pájaro is an urban artist originally from Spain who has taken his talent to the streets of London. His art emerges from what most people discard: trash, broken objects, and abandoned materials. With ingenuity and a critical vision, he transforms these remains into striking compositions that blend satire, protest, and expressiveness. The Cloudgate sculpture, popularly nicknamed the Bean in Chicago, is an iconic piece created by Indo-British artist Anish Kapoor. Since its unveiling in 2006, it has become one of the city's most beloved symbols. Its structure is composed of polished stainless steel that acts as a giant mirror, distorting and reflecting the cityscape in approaching visitors. Curled horned spiders are notable for the prominent, arching spines that adorn the abdomen of females. These protrusions, unique to their species, vary considerably in size and configuration, displaying bright colors such as yellow, red, or white, combined with black patterns that serve as a visual warning of potential threats. Llamas use spitting as a protective strategy or to express their discomfort when they perceive danger or are irritated. This behavior serves to keep potential threats at bay or to express their discontent in situations they find annoying. Spitting, which can include saliva and stomach contents, is an effective form of communication in their social and natural environment. Vladimir Shmondenko, also known as Anatol Powerlifter, stands out as a high-performance athlete and a prominent figure on digital platforms. He gained fame for his remarkable physical strength, demonstrated by squatting over 440 pounds and deadlifting nearly 660 pounds. In his videos, he appears to be a humble gym cleaner, only to surprise everyone with his incredible power. The Ayam Cemani, a poultry breed native to Indonesia, is distinguished by its distinctive all-black coloration. Not only its plumage, but also its beak, crest, legs, internal organs, and even its bones have this dark, uniform hue. This unique appearance is explained by a genetic mutation known as fibromelanosis, which causes exaggerated pigmentation in its tissues. The so-called black crack is a spectacular natural fracture located within Canyonlands National Park in southeastern Utah. This opening plunges nearly 65 feet deep and is about 3 feet wide, standing out for its unusual shape and size. In 2021, Israel produced the largest strawberry ever recorded, weighing an astonishing 10.2 ounces. This fruit stands out significantly compared to common strawberries, which typically weigh only about half an ounce. It belongs to a special variety known for its exceptional growth potential. Additionally, the unusually low temperatures in the region contributed to slower development, allowing the strawberry to reach its extraordinary size. In 2018, Japanese artist Yuya Hoop Man set an impressive world record with the largest hula hoop ever recorded. Using only his torso, he managed to spin a massive hoop measuring 16 feet 10 inches in diameter. For the achievement to be officially recognized, he had to complete at least 3 full rotations of the hoop. The Valais black-nosed sheep from Switzerland are distinguished by their unique appearance. Their black faces and legs stand out strikingly against their abundant white wool. Beyond their physical attractiveness, these sheep are known for their calm and sociable nature, qualities that make them a versatile choice. Not only are they appreciated for the quality of their wool and meat, but they are also valued as pets. Sierra Blair and Jose Irvin, a couple who celebrate their birthday on August 18th, experienced a surprising coincidence when they had twins who came into the world on that same date. This unique situation makes the entire family a very special group that shares the exact day to celebrate their birthdays, thus creating a unique and meaningful bond around that date. Murat Kolak, originally from Germany, has become known on digital platforms for his work as a chiropractor specializing in animals. His job involves applying manual techniques to pets such as dogs, cats, and horses, with the goal of improving their mobility and relieving muscle tension. He presents himself as a holistic professional, a chiropractor, osteopath, and healer focused on the physical and emotional well-being of animals. The CH-60 road serves as a link between Chile and Argentina and is especially notable for its section known as Los Caracoles. This section is famous for its many sharp curves that wind through spectacular mountain scenery. The Pink Star is a 60-carat pink diamond that is among the most valuable in the world. This treasure was found in Africa in 1999, initially weighing 132.5 carats. Its cutting process, which lasted 2 years, was extremely detailed to highlight its brilliance and perfection. In 2017, this gem fetched a record $71.2 million at auction, establishing itself as the most expensive gemstone sold to date. Sea urchins have a set of 5 teeth arranged in a circular pattern under their bodies. This structure, known as Aristotle's lance, allows them to firmly grasp and scrape algae growing on rocks. The basking shark is the second largest fish on the planet, second only to the whale shark. Its body can grow to about 33 feet in length and weigh nearly 9,000 pounds. Despite its imposing appearance, this marine giant poses no threat to humans, as its diet consists exclusively of plankton, which it captures using a specialized filtration system. On the steep slopes of Monte Cristallo, within the imposing Dolomites of northern Italy, lies one of the most isolated dwellings on the planet. This construction, erected during the First World War by Italian soldiers, had a crucial tactical function. More than just a shelter, the building served as an advanced surveillance post, from which the movement of opposing forces could be observed from a great distance. The McKinley Explorer is a unique rail service that displays breathtaking panoramas of Alaska through its large domed windows. This route connects major cities such as Anchorage, Talkeetna, and the famous Denali National Park, providing passengers with an unforgettable journey. Thanks to its specially designed windows, visitors can clearly view the majestic natural surroundings. In the most isolated alpine areas of Switzerland, it is common for cows to be evacuated by helicopter in critical animal health situations. This technique is especially used when rugged terrain makes conventional roads impossible for transport. It ensures rapid and effective veterinary care. Japanese artist Minoru Yamasaki designed the Cumos, a box-shaped kaleidoscope that captivates with its visual effect. It uses 6 strategically placed mirrors to produce multiple reflections that simulate endless space. This work is also known as a miniature universe, due to the impressive sense of depth it generates within. On Inle Lake, Myanmar, a festival is held every year where communities decorate their boats with lanterns and candles, leading to a glittering parade across the water. This celebration, known as the Phang Dao U Pagoda Festival, marks the end of the rainy season and offers a magical and colorful visual spectacle. Bob Benol has turned his signature mohawk hairstyle into a striking advertising platform. Over the years, he has created more than 1,600 custom mohawks that showcase unique logos, brands, and messages. With the support of his wife, Julie, he transforms his hair into a true moving billboard. Australian artist Craig Walsh is known for transforming natural spaces through striking projections. In his project Monuments, human portraits are projected onto tree trunks and canopy, giving the impression that these plant beings have come to life. This proposal questions the classic idea of a monument, replacing bronze and stone with light and nature. Saint-Malo, a coastal city in northwestern France, is famous for experiencing the largest tidal variations in Europe, which can exceed 46 feet. At high tide, the sea becomes an impressive spectacle that draws numerous visitors. The city has been carefully constructed to withstand the power of the ocean, with sturdy buildings adapted to the environment. Its ancient walls and fortresses serve as a shield against the force of the water and wind. Have you ever seen a starfish that can walk? Although they appear motionless, they have hundreds of tiny tube feet under their arms. These feet are powered by hydraulic pressure and allow them to move slowly across the seafloor. The history of the Catholic Church holds truly surprising episodes, and one of them is the pontificate of Benedict IX, who holds the title of being the youngest pope of all time. He was elected to the throne of St. Peter when he was approximately 20 years old, although some accounts indicate he could have been even younger. Chaser, a border collie considered the smartest dog in the world, amazed scientists and animal lovers alike. She was trained by Professor John Pilley, who taught her to recognize more than 1,000 toys by name, but her intelligence went much further. Chaser also understood simple sentences, distinguished between verbs and nouns, and was able to follow complex instructions that combined several concepts. In the heart of Venezuela, in the state of Zulia, lies one of the most impressive atmospheric phenomena on the planet. In the area where the Catatumbo River meets Lake Maracaibo, a natural spectacle known as the Catatumbo lightning occurs. This event consists of intense and constant electrical storms that illuminate the sky up to 160 nights a year. In complete darkness, lightning strikes with surprising frequency, reaching up to 280 strikes per hour. In the city of Melbourne, Australia, a festival called Box Wars takes place annually in the iconic Victoria Park. In this competition, hundreds of people gathered to design and build suits and vehicles made exclusively from recycled cardboard, which they use to compete in playful and symbolic battles. Henry Caballos holds the world record for the highest vertical jump using a pogo stick. In his feat, he reached an impressive height of 11 feet 7 inches. This achievement stands out for the precision, strength, and balance required to control the jump with such a device. The pogo stick, typically seen as a toy, becomes a tool for pushing physical limits. In Frankfurt, the Bockenheimer water station stands out for having a truly unusual entrance. It simulates a train car that has emerged from the ground after an accident. This peculiar structure attracts the attention of locals and tourists alike, being one of the most photographed in the city. Despite its popularity, little is known about who designed it. In the Icelandic city of Akureyri, traffic lights attract attention by displaying hearts instead of the typical red circle. This creative proposal was born after the 2008 economic crisis, with the intention of lifting collective spirits. Over time, the hearts became emblems of hope and good energy for locals and tourists. Beyond their traffic function, they invite reflection on the importance of empathy and calm. The Titan beetle stands out as one of the largest insects in existence, reaching up to 6.7 inches in length. Although it has wings, its flying ability is limited, so it typically climbs trees before taking off. Interestingly, as an adult, it does not feed. Its sole purpose is reproduction. Its massive body and intimidating appearance make it a truly remarkable creature. Only the Pope has the exclusive privilege of wearing deep red shoes. This distinctive footwear symbolizes the bloodshed by Christian martyrs throughout history, recalling their sacrifice and unwavering faith. The tradition of the papal red shoe is a visual manifestation of respect and connection with those who gave their lives for their beliefs. A surprising glimpse into the hidden world of human pups, men who dress and act like dogs. This secretive subculture blends role-playing, affection, and self-expression. For many, it's not just about costumes, but a way to release tension and connect emotionally. Eris is a small Borzoi dog known for having the longest recorded snout in the world, reaching nearly 31 centimeters in length. Despite this unusual characteristic, veterinarians confirm that her teeth are in perfect condition. Although her snout is unusually long, she has not suffered from any serious illnesses related to it. The Angoloa uniflora, popularly known as the baby cradle orchid, stands out for the peculiar shape of its flowers, which resemble the image of a smiling child being cradled. This species' natural habitat is the high mountain ranges of South America, with a notable presence in countries like Peru. Beyond its unique floral design, this orchid is also appreciated for its soft and pleasant fragrance. Tonki is a charming Shar-Pei dog who has captured the attention of thousands of people online due to her unusually cute appearance. Her wrinkled face, floppy ears, and sweet expression have led many to compare her to a living stuffed animal. From her first months of life, photos of her began circulating on social media, where she quickly went viral. Romania is home to one of the largest concentrations of wildlife in Europe, and its dense forests and mountains are home to the largest population of brown bears on the continent. It is estimated that around 6,000 brown bears live there, a significantly high number compared to other European countries. This abundance has created a complex challenge for authorities. Made in Spain, the Osby Geo is a folding electric bicycle that represents a new generation of sustainable urban transport. Its intelligent design allows it to be folded quickly and easily in a single gesture, making it an ideal option for those commuting around the city and needing to combine different modes of transport. But beyond its functionality, what truly sets it apart is its eco-friendly approach. Arbab Kaiser Hayat has captured the world's attention with his imposing physique and displays of extraordinary strength. This man, originally from Pakistan, stands about 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighs an astonishing 960 pounds, making him a truly formidable figure. His fame comes not only from his size, but also from his remarkable feats, such as pulling a moving tractor. Can you imagine dining more than 165 feet in the air? At dinner in the sky, it's possible. Originally from Belgium, this unique restaurant experience now has more than 30 locations worldwide. While enjoying a gourmet meal prepared by renowned chefs, guests can take in panoramic views for 45 minutes. All of this comes at a price that varies depending on the location and selected menu. Introducing Diminish and Ascend, a stunning sculpture of an infinite staircase created by artist David McCracken. This work is a true optical illusion. When viewed from certain angles, it appears to be a never-ending staircase reaching into the sky. Measuring about 31 feet long and nearly 16 feet high, it is permanently installed in the Christchurch Botanic Gardens in New Zealand. There is a rather peculiar religion in the world called Pastafarianism, whose followers wear colanders as religious hats. Founded by an atheist, its deity is a giant ball of spaghetti and meatballs. Yes, you've heard that before, but it's a serious belief. An example of how humor and criticism of traditional institutions can merge into something truly unique. In Iceland, you'll find Raufarhöllskeller, an impressive lava tunnel that extends more than 0.8 miles underground. This is the fourth largest lava tube in the country, with an exact length of 4,462 feet, a natural wonder that showcases the power and beauty of volcanic activity in the heart of Iceland. Have you ever seen a tattoo come to life? Phil Burge, an innovative tattoo artist, has taken the art of tattooing to a whole new level by creating what could be considered the first animated tattoos. In a unique project, Phil tattooed 76 different people with a series of carefully selected images, which when moved and viewed in sequence, recreate a stop-motion animation. This animation is part of a scene inspired by the classic Betty Boop movie. Imagine wading through a swamp without getting your feet dirty. Well, the Bana tribe of Ethiopia has it figured out. Their secret? No rain boots, no boats, stilts up to 6.5 feet high. With gravity-defying agility, the Bana glide through muddy terrain like circus acrobats, crossing rivers, tall grass, and treacherous puddles without breaking a sweat. Especially during the rainy season, when the ground turns into a sticky trap, their stilts become their best ally. Zion Clark is living proof that determination knows no limits. He was born with caudal regression syndrome, which stunted the development of his legs, but that didn't stop him. With impressive speed, he broke the world record by covering 65 feet on his hands in just 4.78 seconds. He's not only fast, but also strong. He's an MMA fighter and has emerged victorious in his matches. Learn about the International Highline Meeting, a festival that sounds relaxed, but is quite a challenge. Imagine hanging in hammocks tens of meters high atop Mount Piana in the Dolomites of the Italian Alps. Attendees known as slackers embark on this extreme adventure. Although it may seem like a peaceful event, it has everything: kitchens, a bar, music, and even activities like tandem paragliding or suspended yoga. Do you know a boy in Croatia who has the incredible ability to attract metal objects to his body? His name is Ivan Stojkovic, and he's known as the Magnet Boy. This strange phenomenon began when he was just 6 years old, and today he can stick things like spoons, forks, and even small irons to his skin. Did you know that the gar, or Indian bison, is the largest wild bovine in the world? This impressive herbivore lives in the jungles and forests of India and other parts of Southeast Asia. Males can measure up to 10 feet in length and weigh over 2,200 pounds, a giant of nature that leaves everyone in awe with its size. Meet Shoji Morimoto, the man who has turned doing nothing into a profitable business. In Tokyo, he offers a unique service, hiring himself out as a neutral companion for those who just need someone to share a coffee with, attend an event, or simply be present. No advice, no deep conversations, just his discreet company. His unique profession has earned him a constantly growing clientele, and most surprisingly, about $80,000 a year for literally doing nothing. The Tata Nano, famous for being the cheapest car in the world, was introduced in 2009 in India with a starting price of approximately $2,000. Its main objective was to offer an affordable transportation option, but its production was halted in 2018 due to market difficulties. Meet Dobry Dobrev, a man who left his comfortable life behind to live as a beggar, but with a much greater purpose. Nicknamed the Holy Fool, Dobry donated all the money he collected to charities, orphanages, and churches. His generosity was so great that eventually he moved into a church annex where he spent his final days. Did you know that in 2016, the King of Norway knighted a penguin? That's right, Sir Niels Olaf II received the knighthood during a celebration when he inspected 50 soldiers of the Royal Guard. This honor was approved by King Harald V, and Niels Olav II became the first penguin to receive such a distinction in the Norwegian army. Meet the Chukudu, the wooden all-terrain vehicle from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This ingenious hybrid between a motorcycle and a bicycle is made from eucalyptus wood, with wheels crafted from recycled tires. Don't be fooled by its simple appearance. It can carry up to 1,760 pounds of cargo. Created by local artisans, the Chukudu is the perfect solution for navigating rough roads and has become a symbol of ingenuity and resilience. Did you know that Gladys Engel, a member of the aerobatic group The 13 Black Cats, would walk on the wings of airplanes while they were in flight? Quite an impressive and high-risk feat. Meet Danny Huny, a mechanical design genius who creates animatronics that are as surprising as they are hilarious. One of his most striking inventions is a Snoop Dogg tricycle that stylishly glides through the neighborhood and even looks like he's about to light a cigarette. Imagine playing Jenga, but with construction machines. In the most epic event in the game's history, the world's largest Jenga game was played using Caterpillar machines. Each of the 27 pine blocks measured 79 feet long and weighed 600 pounds, a real challenge. The game lasted 28 hours, and operators managed to remove 16 blocks before the structure collapsed. Using excavators and telehandlers, the goal was to move one block at a time without knocking down the tower, relying only on Caterpillar machines and accessories. Volkswagen has spent more than $7.4 billion to buy back approximately 350,000 diesel vehicles. This happened after the emissions scandal that rocked the company in 2015. The fraud involved manipulating controls to make it appear they were polluting less. It was one of the biggest environmental scandals in the history of the automotive industry. Meet Shema Graham, the Ugandan boy who, at 7 years old, is already piloting airplanes and dreams of going into space with Elon Musk. His passion for airplanes was born at age 3, when he began learning to fly at an academy. This little genius is so brilliant that he can solve math and science problems that are more complex for older children. But how did it all begin? An accident changed his life. A police helicopter flew so low near his house that it broke the roof of his grandmother's house. From that moment on, something inside him clicked, and his obsession with airplanes took off. The facial fitness POW is a curious Japanese invention that promises to keep your face firm and youthful. It's a device that swings when you move your mouth, exercising your facial muscles in a fun way. It became so popular that even Cristiano Ronaldo has recommended it. Imagine doing your beauty routine while looking like you're playing with a propeller. Meet Teffy, the most incredible robot dog. This faithful companion is programmed to guide and accompany dependent or blind people, making their lives much easier. It works with artificial intelligence, so it can recognize voice commands and has an automatic navigation system. Whether at home or on the go, Teffy knows exactly how to guide its owner. Mary Ann Bevan, born in 1874, was known as the ugliest woman in the world due to acromegaly, a disease that causes deformities due to excess growth hormone. Far from hiding, she decided to take advantage of her appearance and entered a competition, which she proudly won. The EHang 216 is an electric aircraft designed for short and medium distance transport. Powered by batteries, it can carry 2 passengers and reach speeds of up to 81 miles per hour with a maximum altitude of 9,840 feet. Its range allows for a flight time of 21 minutes and a distance of 21 miles, all on a 120-minute battery charge. Did you know that Chimera cats are a true genetic marvel? These felines have 2 types of DNA, giving them a fascinating appearance with completely different coat and eye colors. This happens when 2 embryos fuse before fully developing, resulting in a cat with 2 genetic identities. Although it's rare, it's completely natural. Nyakim Gatwech, known as the Queen of Darkness, is a Sudanese model who has turned her dark skin into a powerful statement of beauty and pride. Her skin tone, which is the darkest of all, is due to a high concentration of melanin, making her a symbol of acceptance and empowerment. In October 2021, a diver named Shlomi Katzen discovered a beautifully preserved sword, nearly 900 years old, during a dive in the shallow waters near Haifa, Israel. Believed to have belonged to a Crusader knight, he was surely frustrated to lose it, but we are fortunate to have found it intact. The 1-meter-long iron sword is still encrusted with marine organisms, giving it a unique look. Elizabeth Sweetheart, better known as the Green Lady of Brooklyn, has spent more than 2 decades being a unique icon in New York. Originally from Nova Scotia, this 74-year-old Canadian artist and designer decided 25 years ago that her life would be green. Her lime green attire has always been with her for years, while her home has been transformed into a verdant paradise, from the doors to the painted sponges. She literally has green everything. The bush viper, whose scientific name is Atheris hispida, is a venomous snake native to Central Africa, primarily residing in forested areas of nations such as Uganda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Its most distinctive feature is its exceptionally spiny dorsal scales, which give it a unique, bristly appearance, as if covered in spines, clearly distinguishing it from other snake species in the region. Justin Smith, a prominent entomologist, dedicated much of his professional life to researching insect bites and their effects. He was the creator of the well-known Schmid Sting Pain Index, a scale ranging from 0 to 10 that classifies the intensity of pain caused by different stings. To develop this tool, Schmidt voluntarily exposed himself to bites from various insects, including bees, wasps, and ants. In 2008, a very striking celestial event called conjunction occurred. During this phenomenon, the Moon, the planets Jupiter, and Venus lined up in the sky, creating an image reminiscent of a smile or a happy face. At the age of 70, Chow Smith decided to celebrate his birthday in an extraordinary way, completing 7 marathons in 7 days, each on a different continent. This impressive challenge known as the 777 Quest, took place between January 25th and 31st, 2017. Smith traversed settings as varied as the heat of Egypt, the humidity of Singapore, the streets of New York, and the extreme cold of Antarctica. Byron Schlenker became famous for an unusual physical characteristic. He has the widest tongue ever recorded, measuring 3.5 inches. This surprising attribute earned him a place in the Guinness Book of World Records and made him a well-known figure for his uniqueness. Interestingly, his daughter inherited this trait as well, setting her own record as the woman with the widest tongue in the world. The Rose of Jericho is an extraordinary plant that can dry out to the point of complete withering and then spring back to life when moistened with water. It originates from the arid areas surrounding the Arabian deserts and the Red Sea. This unique ability allows it to survive in extremely dry environments, entering a dormant state until conditions are favorable for its growth. In each typical Major League Baseball game, approximately 8 to 10 dozen balls are used, equivalent to a range of 96 to 120 balls per game. These balls are changed regularly throughout the game for various reasons, such as dirt accumulation or wear and tear. The English powder pigeon, also known as the English power pigeon, is an ornamental variety prized for its distinguished bearing. It is characterized by maintaining an upright posture, displaying an elongated neck, and sporting a prominent, bulging mouth. These unique characteristics are the result of a careful genetic selection process carried out over numerous generations by expert breeders. Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, stands out as one of the most overpopulated cities on the planet, with more than 22 million people. Urban roads are often congested with a large number of vehicles, causing constant traffic jams that complicate the daily mobility of its inhabitants. Fleischmann's frog belongs to a group of amphibians known as glass frogs, characterized by their almost transparent skin. Thanks to this, its internal organs can be observed from the outside, giving it a unique and fascinating appearance. During daylight hours, this creature shelters under the shade of leaves to go unnoticed and protect itself from animals that might attack it. The world's largest bicycle parking lot is located at Utrecht Central Station in the Netherlands. This facility can accommodate up to 12,500 bicycles spread over 3 floors. It also offers services such as bicycle rental and maintenance for users. It is designed to promote ecological and practical methods of transportation. The Polar Bear Plunge is a cold water swimming event held during the winter, especially in the Northern Hemisphere. Participants plunge into icy waters as part of this popular tradition, which takes place in countries such as the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and the Netherlands. In addition to being a challenging activity, many organize the event for charity. In Telford, England, the Tough Guy Challenge is held annually, an extreme event that attracts thousands of people eager to push their limits. This 9.3-mile race features 32 intense obstacles, including crossing burning coals, navigating claustrophobic tunnels, and swimming through lakes lined with electrified wires. Extreme conditions, such as freezing cold temperatures, add an extra level of difficulty to the course. In fact, nearly 50% of participants drop out due to its demanding nature. Did you know that there are shoes designed especially for horses? Yes, that's right. They're called Megasus Horse Runner and are a much more comfortable and pain-free alternative for these animals. Traditional hooves can cause various problems, especially in their legs, which is why an Austrian company developed these innovative plastic shoes. This you see is the famous Fukang Starstone. This is a rare meteorite that fell to Earth and was discovered in the mountains near China in 2000. This meteorite, known as Palak, has golden, translucent olivine crystals embedded in a nickel and iron structure with a honeycomb-like appearance. Its unique beauty and composition make it very valuable, being 4 times more expensive than pure gold. This object is considered one of the most precious and rare in the world. Did you know that in Uganda lives a man with a truly enormous family? 68-year-old Musa Hasahya has 12 wives, 102 children, and 578 grandchildren. They all live on the same property, meaning their home is a large community. However, Musa admits that managing such a large family isn't easy. I have a lot of problems, like how to get money for school fees, food for everyone, clothes, and helping out when someone gets sick, he says. Check out the world's highest tennis court, a stunning setting located at the iconic Burj Al Arab Hotel in Dubai. Situated a whopping 690 feet above sea level, this court occupies the hotel's helipad, making it one of the most unique and spectacular places to play tennis. In Scotland, there is an impressive monument that blends art, mythology, and culture, the Kelpies. These colossal horse sculptures reach 98 feet in height and are made from 600 tons of steel. Inspired by Scottish mythology, the Kelpies pay tribute to the historical importance of horses in the region. They are the largest horse statues in the world. Melusu looks like a location straight out of Fallout. During the Cold War, it was one of the USSR's main uranium processing plants. When the Soviet regime fell, they left behind more than 23 nuclear waste sites without any protection. Rain, landslides, and earthquakes have leaked radioactive material into rivers and soil. The worst part, people still live there, with houses just a few meters from the contaminated areas. Can you imagine a bull with a ponytail and a permanent winter coat? That's the wild yak. This furry giant lives at over 19,700 feet above sea level, as if the icy peaks were its backyard. Its tail is not only elegant, but also serves as a natural fly swatter. While other animals would freeze, the yak strolls calmly, proving that endurance and style can go hand in hand. The Rochinha favela in Rio de Janeiro is the largest and most populated in Brazil, with more than 56,000 inhabitants. Its narrow streets and houses built one on top of the other form a labyrinth that amazes visitors. Brittany and Brianna are identical twins who shocked the world when they married Josh and Jeremy, other identical twins. The most incredible thing is that, by having children at the same time, the babies are not only cousins, but quaternary twins. The couple met at a twin convention in 2017 and decided to live together in the same house, creating a family as unique as they are. The eggs of the cassowary, a solitary and extremely aggressive bird, are a fascinating mystery of nature. This species, which inhabits tropical rainforests, is known for its territorial behavior and varied diet, which includes fallen fruit, mushrooms, and small birds. The most striking feature of their eggs is their fluorescent green color, specifically designed to camouflage them among the dense vegetation of tropical forests. This camouflage helps them avoid predators and ensure the safety of their young. The Edge Observatory in Hudson Yards, New York, offers a unique experience at 1,132 feet high. With a transparent glass floor, visitors can look straight down, creating the sensation of being suspended in midair. Its triangular design maximizes the views, while a slanted point allows the more daring to lean outward and enjoy breathtaking panoramas of the city skyline. You know the Jagulion. It's a hybrid resulting from the cross between a male jaguar and a lioness. Although this cross doesn't occur in the wild because jaguars and lionesses inhabit different ecosystems, it can occur in captivity. The Jagulion has the imposing muscular structure and size of a lion, but its characteristic spots are inherited from the jaguar. Its tail is also more similar to a lion's, while its temperament and agility bring it closer to that of a jaguar. In the picturesque Norwegian village of Rjukan, hidden among imposing mountains, winter brings with it almost total darkness that lasts for several months, from September to March. During this period, the sun fails to rise high enough to illuminate the valley, leaving the village in constant shadow. To achieve this, the city installed giant mirrors to refract sunlight onto this wonderful village. There is a fish in Africa so extraordinary that it challenges what we normally understand as aquatic life. It is the African lungfish, a creature that, in addition to swimming, can literally walk on land using its fins as primitive limbs. But the most astonishing thing about it is its ability to survive out of water for long periods, even several months. The SR-71 Blackbird was a true legend of the skies, developed by the United States during the Cold War with a clear purpose: to spy without being detected. This aircraft stood out not only for its futuristic appearance, but also for its astonishing capabilities. It could fly at speeds exceeding 2,200 miles per hour, a velocity so extreme that the plane generated so much heat from friction it was designed to expand mid-flight. Pingalap Island, a small but extraordinary place due to a genetic peculiarity that affects most of its inhabitants. Achromatopsia, a condition that causes black and white vision. Far from being fiction, this reality originated after a devastating tsunami in 1775 that wiped out much of the population. Among the few survivors was someone carrying this rare gene, which due to isolation and reproduction among descendants, has been maintained and spread in the community. In Georgia, United States, a monument steeped in mystery and controversy once stood, the Georgia Guidestones. These enormous stones, the Baldwacari is a species of monkey found primarily in the humid and swampy regions of the Amazon rainforest, encompassing territories such as Brazil, Peru, and possibly parts of Colombia. What is most striking about this primate is its completely hairless head and face, where its skin exhibits a deep red color that stands out noticeably against its dense fur. In February 2021, a Belgian photographer named Eve Adams managed to capture some extraordinary images on the remote South Georgia Islands near the Antarctic continent. What he found was a penguin that completely broke with the traditional appearance of its species. Its plumage was not black and white, but a striking shade of yellow. This specimen is the first of its kind recorded with this unusual color. Nicole Smith Ludwig, a professional skydiver and Emirates airline flight attendant, starred in a scene that left the entire world breathless. In a daring publicity stunt, she climbed to the top of the Burj Khalifa, the tallest skyscraper on the planet, to participate in filming a commercial for the airline. Standing on a tiny platform more than 2,625 feet high, check out the Châtillon Car Cemetery, a truly fascinating place in Belgium. More than 500 vintage vehicles were abandoned there after World War II. American soldiers, unable to take their cars home, parked them in a forest in the hope of one day being able to recover them. But transportation costs were so high that none of the cars were ever claimed. Châtillon Aiden Scipio, Anguilla's national team striker and Ringlawn's CFC star, shines not only for his talent on the pitch, but also for his impressive hair, considered the longest in world football. Since he was a child, he defied the adversities of playing in a country with a low FIFA ranking, but his passion took him far. Did you know there's an air guitar world championship? Every year since 1996, Finland welcomes people from all over the world to compete playing invisible guitars. Participants take to the stage and pretend to be rock stars, moving stylishly to the rhythm of rock and metal songs. The key to winning isn't just the imaginary technique, but the attitude and passion with which they perform their solos. In New Zealand, there's a church that looks like something out of a fairy tale. The Tree Church, created by gardener Barry Cox. Instead of bricks and mortar, Cox used living trees to shape this incredible structure in 2011, choosing each species for the texture and color of its leaves to build the walls and roof. The most fascinating thing is that the church continues to grow and transform over time, creating a natural spectacle that is never the same again. Did you know there's a fish with neon blue flesh? It's called the lingcod, and it swims off the west coast of North America. Although its exterior is usually brownish or grayish, 1 in 5 specimens hides a mysterious bright blue color in its flesh. The curious thing is that scientists still don't know exactly why this happens, only that it's due to a variation in the pigment. However, the magic disappears when cooked, as the flesh turns white like any other fish. Meet the Hasanlu lovers, a pair of human remains found at the Tepe-Janlo archaeological site in the Iranian province of West Azerbaijan. Have you seen the viral video of a dog and a monkey crossing a lake? Pakun, a monkey and a bulldog puppy, have become the stars of the Japanese show Tensai Shimura Dubutsu. In one of the most popular episodes, these two animal friends managed to cross a river together, despite being tied up. The video went viral on the internet, showcasing their incredible cooperation. Would you dare try insect ice cream? Gourmet Grub, an African company in Cape Town, has created a luxurious version of this dessert using ento milk, a dairy alternative made from insects, such as the black soldier fly. This type of ice cream is not only nutritious but also eco-friendly, as the insects convert organic waste into biomass, helping to reduce the environmental impact. The Bright Zoo in Tennessee became the scene of an extraordinary event with the arrival of a giraffe calf completely devoid of spots, a truly exceptional and almost unique phenomenon worldwide. This small reticulated giraffe has captured the attention of both wildlife specialists and enthusiasts due to its unusual, uniformly colored coat, lacking the characteristic spots that distinguish its species. Karen McBride, a woman from the United States, lived an incredibly unfortunate legal odyssey that spanned more than 2 decades. It all began in 1999, when she rented a VHS tape of the series Sabrina the Teenage Witch in Oklahoma, and, for unknown reasons, never returned it. However, what seemed like a simple oversight turned into a much more serious case. She was accused of embezzlement, although she was never formally notified or aware of the legal proceedings against her. The spider-tailed snake, native to Iran, possesses a truly fascinating and sophisticated hunting strategy. At the tip of its tail, this snake has developed a surprising ability. It mimics the appearance and movements of a spider. This visual and dynamic deception attracts the attention of curious birds, which interpret this imitation as easy and accessible prey. Australian surfer Mick Fanning, a 3-time world champion, experienced a terrifying moment while competing in South Africa. During the live broadcast, a shark appeared next to him, its dorsal fin slicing through the water. The animal swiped at him with its tail, leaving everyone in shock. Despite the scare, Fanning reacted quickly and escaped unharmed thanks to the intervention of rescuers. Otto, an English bulldog originally from Lima, Peru, achieved a memorable milestone by entering the Guinness Book of Records on November 8, 2015. This extraordinary dog demonstrated impressive skill by skateboarding through a tunnel formed by the legs of 30 people lined up one after the other. This feat set the world record for the longest human tunnel traversed by a dog on a skateboard. The incredible feat of the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. On a test flight over Washington, Vietnam Airlines pilots amazed the world with a takeoff that looked like something out of a movie. In a matter of seconds, the enormous plane tilts its nose toward the sky and ascends almost vertically, like a rocket. Bali's most mischievous thieves have tails and climb trees. The island's wild monkeys have become true masters of blackmail. They analyze tourists with a clinical eye, selecting their targets with expert precision. Are you carrying an expensive phone or a pair of designer sunglasses? Be prepared, because if you're careless, one of these little rascals will snatch it from you in the blink of an eye. But here's the most curious part. They don't just steal, they demand a ransom. Monkeys know that valuable items are worth more food, so they'll bargain brazenly until they get their loot. Imagine living inside a giant cave, like a small hidden village. In Zhongdong, a vast cavern in Guizhou province, China, about 100 people have made the rock their home. Their families have created a unique space with houses, a school, and even livestock areas, all under a stone roof that looks like something out of a fantasy story. The cave is so immense that a skyscraper could fit inside. It measures over 300 feet wide, 160 feet high, and extends 750 feet inward. In 1986, Cleveland wanted to shine with Balloon Fest 86, releasing 1.5 million helium balloons to break a Guinness World Record and show the world the city's energy. The sky was filled with color, but the joy was short-lived. The balloons, caught in bad weather, fell en masse over streets, airports, and even Lake Erie. Off the coast of South Korea, surrounded by history and mysticism, lies Jindo Island. For most of the year, its land remains hidden beneath the ocean. However, once a year, an extraordinary phenomenon occurs. The tide suddenly drops, exposing a 3-kilometer land passage that connects the island to the mainland. This event occurs for only 1 hour, when the sea level drops approximately 3 meters. In 1969, a soccer match between El Salvador and Honduras sparked a full-blown armed conflict. What began as a World Cup qualifier became the catalyst for already building political and social tensions. After El Salvador's victory, violent riots erupted, leading to a short-lived war. The conflict left thousands tragically dead and profoundly impacted the relationship between the two countries for years to come. Edson Aurelio is a decorative painter recognized for his ability to transform blots into complex works of art. His unique style is characterized by giving shape and structure to what initially appears to be chaos, creating striking visual compositions full of detail. Through his technique, he manages to transform the abstract into something profoundly aesthetic, capturing the attention and admiration of those who observe his work. Wingsuit athletes defy gravity by jumping from great heights, using only their specialized suit to control their descent. Unlike other aerial sports, they do not rely on a parachute to slow their fall, but instead rely on the aerodynamics of their suit to maneuver and steer their flight. Mount Huashan in China is a sacred mountain famous for its extreme hiking trails. Its narrow paths, walkways suspended over chasms, and steep staircases offer both a physical and mental challenge. It attracts adrenaline-seeking adventurers as well as pilgrims seeking a spiritual connection. Steak tartare is a traditional French dish consisting of finely chopped raw beef. It is often accompanied by capers, onion, egg yolk, and a variety of seasonings, which enhance its fresh and delicate flavor. Served raw, it is prized for its freshness and the quality of the meat used. Although its preparation is simple, the combination of ingredients and the texture of the meat make this dish a unique experience for lovers of gourmet cuisine. In Romania, the Mary Cemetery of Săpunța challenges conventional ideas about final resting places by presenting a vibrant and colorful setting. Its graves, made of wooden planks painted mostly in a deep turquoise blue, are adorned with humorous drawings that reflect significant or funny moments in the lives of those who rest there. Ciabatta, originally from Italy, is a bread notable for its flat, rectangular shape. Its exterior features a crispy crust, while its interior is light and spongy, filled with large air spaces that give it a unique, airy texture. This bread is highly prized for its distinctive flavor and consistency. In the Amazon rainforest lives the Pirahun tribe, an isolated group with a unique characteristic. They have no words for counting. There is no one, two, or many. They only use vague terms like few or more than one. They also have no grammatical past or future tense in their language. They live in an eternal present. Linguists still don't understand how they can hunt, survive, and remember without number systems or time references. Saksun is a village lost between mountains and fjords in a frozen corner of the North Atlantic. The curious thing is that all their houses are covered with roofs of living grass. Yes, grass literally grows on the homes, as if they were part of the landscape. This isn't just aesthetic, it serves as thermal and acoustic insulation, and even as a refuge for birds. It looks like a set from The Lord of the Rings, but it's 100% real. The white cobra, also known as the albino cobra, is a rare variant of the traditional cobra, distinguished by its white or cream-colored skin. This characteristic is due to a genetic change that prevents the production of the usual pigment, giving it a unique and standout appearance within its species. Clouds known as sky punch, or fall streak holes, are rare atmospheric phenomena that appear as large, rounded, or oval-shaped voids in the upper layers of the sky. This effect occurs in high clouds, such as altocumulus or cirrocumulus, when water that remains liquid at sub-zero temperatures abruptly freezes into ice crystals. Although forests are popularly considered the lungs of the planet, it's actually the oceans that play that vital role. These vast bodies of water generate between half and almost 4/5 of the oxygen we need to live, thanks to the photosynthetic activity of marine organisms like phytoplankton. The air car, developed by Klein Vision, represents a revolutionary advance in personal mobility by combining the capabilities of a car and an airplane into a single device. Equipped with a 1.6-liter BMW engine generating 160 horsepower, this hybrid vehicle can fly at speeds close to 125 miles per hour. It also offers an aerial range of nearly 620 miles, positioning it as a futuristic option for fast and versatile travel. The African elephant has the longest pregnancy of all animals, lasting 22 months. This extended period is necessary due to its size and the complex development of the fetal brain. During this time, the pregnant elephant allows its calf to grow sufficiently to survive in the wild. The long process also ensures that the newborn elephant has the physical and mental capabilities necessary to cope with life in the wild. The Dolce by Wyndham Hanoi Golden Lake is a luxury hotel in Hanoi, Vietnam, renowned for its unique and opulent design. Its facade is covered with more than 1.3 million square feet of 24-karat gold, earning it the title of the only hotel in the world with gold-plated tiles, according to the International Union of Records. The wristwatch for the blind is specifically designed to be a speaker that tells you the time when you need it. The blue-footed booby is a species of seabird that inhabits the Galapagos Islands. Its most distinctive feature is its bright blue feet, which become even more intense during courtship season. Males display their feet in a courtship ritual, where the more vibrant the blue, the more attractive the individual is considered. Quad ball, formerly known as Quidditch, is a sport inspired by the Harry Potter universe. It is played between two teams of 7 players each, who must maneuver with sticks between their legs. The main objective is to score points by throwing a ball through hoops located at the ends of the field, while the snitch, a ball tied to a neutral runner, must be caught to score additional points. The Dragon Reservoir, located in the Alentejo region of Portugal, is a body of water notable for its serpentine, dragon-like shape. In addition to being an important source of water and energy, this reservoir has become a popular tourist destination. It offers various activities such as sailing, fishing, and landscape observation, making it a perfect place to enjoy nature and the tranquility of the surroundings. The great hornbill is a bird native to Southeast Asia, known for its distinctive curved beak and prominent casque atop its beak. Its plumage is primarily black, while its face is a bright red. This bird is famous for its loud call, which can be heard over long distances, and is found in tropical forests where it plays an important role in seed dispersal. And that's all. Subscribe for more great content.